The biggest one for me this year is UTMB, which is the Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc, so it's obviously in the Alps. It's effectively 10 1,000 metre climbs. I have sponsors in the same way that a football team does. I just play once every 2 years rather than once a weekend. I've run every single inch of this coast path a lot. And basically this bit that we've done today is the best in terms of bang for your buck for gradient. So for doing hills, it's just the most efficient bit of land. Basically within about a 3-hour drive. Like annoyingly, Dartmoor is not as good as you think it will be, because although there are some decent like elevation there, actually you're not looking for pure elevation. What you're looking for is prominence. With training hills, you can achieve an awful lot just finding somewhere locally that's like, 50 meters of vert at a time or 100 meters of vert at a time, and just repeating it a lot. Having said that, there is also a point at which, if you are training to race on mountains, you need to go and find mountains now and again as well. The biggest one for me this year is UTMB. Which is the Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc, so it's obviously in the Alps. And basically that race is effectively 10 1,000 metre climbs. And although this kind of training's great, what that doesn't do is get you used to climbing 1,000 metres at a time. There is a very different level of lactate build-up in your legs and stuff when you are doing it continuously. So it's something which, I've been going to the Lake District more than normal because I can get 1,000 meters of gain at a time when I'm there. It's something that, again, it boils down really to specificity. What are you training for? If you're training to run the coast path, doing obviously this is perfect. And if you're training to run, big mountains, this is better than nothing, but you will need to probably look at doing a little bit extra if you're taking it really seriously. There are a raft of reasons that I could give you in terms of why I run. I think probably the most important one is that I genuinely enjoy it. And, it allows you to get out and explore beautiful and inaccessible places, in a manner which I don't think doing it via any other mode of transport is puts you quite as well in touch with that place. At the most basic level, I run because I'm good at it and because I enjoy it. And that is genuinely how I got into running, is because I was curious about it and I started doing it and both enjoyed it and was decent at it. Not a world-changing natural talent by any stretch of the imagination, but was basically good enough at it out of the gate that I wasn't in just complete turmoil the whole time. One of the things that I do enjoy about running is it gives you not insignificant headspace to sort of work through stuff, whatever's going on in life. That's something that I've always quite enjoyed about it, is that ability to, sort of chunk through some stuff. I can call myself a polar explorer because that's the closest linguistic touch point people have for someone who goes to Antarctica to do stuff down there. But the reality to it is that I was doing a route that's been done before. I wasn't really exploring very much, aside from, doing it as someone with a disability. So I tend to sort of refer to myself as an endurance athlete because that's what I am. I think that where for me sort of the complications arise is that I'm
I don't fit into any of the the Paralympic categories of sport. And I am, even were I not too old, that there is not a particularly satisfactory category for someone with my specific injury. It's a funny one, because when you sort of talk to people about it and explain it to them, in the sense that I am basically someone that does very long expeditions, and there is a partnership side to what I do in terms of I have corporate sponsors, etc. Like, all of that is very understandable to people. They get it. Like, I have sponsors in the same way that a football team does. I just play once every 2 years rather than once a weekend. But a calculation that I did when I was at the South Pole was that I'd spent, I think it was 1,080 hours on the ice, which is, if a Premiership footballer had played for, I think I'd worked it out as 18 years, and they'd played every minute of the 90 minutes of a football match for every Premiership match of that career. They'd not missed a single minute. The amount of time I spent on the ice and the amount of playing experience that player got would have been roughly the same. I got an entire footballer's worth of experience, of professional experience, in one 46-day trip on the ice. The mental exercises that you do when you are bored and alone, I mean, goodness knows. I think people absolutely understand what I do when I describe it to them. I think where the difficulty for me arises is that when you look at people who I consider my peers, but in the able-bodied space, they have a platform, quite literally in the sense of a podium, to showcase what they do and to attract sponsorship and all the lower level brand sponsorship that you would associate with a runner or something like that. The vast majority of brands benchmark on podiums, but there are not podiums for para athletes in the category of events that I do.